Welcome to the Argue Your Point podcast. Here are your hosts, Jeff Mitri and Mason Mitri.
Yeah, all right, let's go.
Okay.
Bills, Jaguars. That's what we're going to be talking about today. The rundown of the first playoff game of the 2026 playoff season. Looking forward to it.
The Bills Jaguars. I'm gonna get right into it. The Bills Jaguars Wild Card matchup matters a lot more than people might think. So we really gotta talk about what's at stake. Jaguars going for like Trevor Lawrence's first, might be second playoff win.
He's 1-1 in the playoffs. Yeah.
Yeah.
So he's looking for his second playoff win, and
his loss was to the Chiefs, so it's a little different.
Yeah, and Josh Allen's looking for his 8th. So yeah, let's. You want to start us off, or do you want me to?
I'll go.
To dive in.
Okay. The Bills.
Go for it.
So the Bills were 12-5 this season. Last year they were also 12-5, I think.
Same. Yep.
But Jaguars are completely different. They were 13-4 this year, and last year they were 4-13. So complete flip around.
Yeah.
For the Jaguars, the first AFC South, and they're third in the AFC. We are 6th in the AFC and 2nd in the East.
Yep.
Okay, let's go through our Bills' strengths here. Now, our identity of our offense is really just Josh Allen, James Cook. Maybe we could put Shakir in there.
Mm-hmm.
Defense, probably be Milano. Yeah, but really offensive strengths is just James, Allen, and Cook.
Definitely
James
agree
Cook
with that.
The reigning rushing title leader, 1,621 yards.
Dang.
So
that many?
Mm-hmm.
That's awesome. That's awesome. I guess that's the first time since O.J. Simpson. I had thought that Thurman Thomas had won that before, the rushing title, but I was wrong.
That's about 95 yards on average per game. If he gets, he could get more, but on average.
For 17 games, yeah.
Yeah.
That's just under 100 yards.
Josh Allen this year has played crazy. 25 touchdowns. He does have more interceptions, 10, but he has 14 rushing touchdowns. Now, might put on there, some of them are tush pushes and like 2-yard runs. But some of them, one like 50-yard run we had versus Steelers, I think it was, or not Steelers. We had a couple weeks ago. But yeah, 570 yards rushing and 112 attempts. That is a lot.
Yeah, that proves that he still got his ground game. 570 yards on the ground is nothing to sniff at, and proves that defenses have to. What are you pointing at?
Is that just Allen or the Bills?
This right here is the Bills.
Okay.
Where the Buffalo Bills are 4th in points scored, 4th in total yards. Obviously, that's a team stat. 1st in rushing. That's a James Cook stat, essentially.
Yeah.
1st in rushing first downs.
So that means like it's 1st and 10. They just get the first down immediately. Is that what you mean, or
no? It means
they get the first down by rushing.
Yeah, it means they get the down, but
okay.
Yeah. And the Jaguars are the 3rd best in the league at stopping rushing first downs.
So that'd be a fun matchup, seeing the best versus 3rd.
Yeah.
But
So it's essentially an offense that runs a lot against a defense that is really good at stopping the run.
Okay. Just want to say here, the Jaguars, they're a good defense, but I think Josh Allen was 69.3% completion percentage.
Mm-hmm.
So about 70% of his passes he throws completed.
Yeah.
I wish they put it, it'd be cool if they had a little, like an extra section where it says, 70% of them are Allen's fault, and, maybe, I don't know, 50% of the passes he throws, some of them might not be his fault. Might be like bad, he didn't catch it, or weather, all that stuff. Okay.
Yeah, and Trevor Lawrence, I don't have his completion percentage. I think it was around 61%, something like that. But I know when you compare the two, Trevor Lawrence and Josh Allen, Josh Allen his completions percentage is much higher comparatively on third down and in the fourth quarter. Is something like 20% higher than Trevor Lawrence's in the fourth quarter. So, I think that's a huge drop off there. And, another thing that points to the Bills in what I think is, a comparable edge in quarterback.
Okay, you want to... So, Trevor Lawrence completion percentage is 60.9.
60.9? Okay.
Yeah, that's
I
what
was
I
thinking
got.
61.
Okay, so let's take a look at the Bills.
You can leave that open.
Okay. Let's take a look at the Bills receiving. Shakir leads with 419. But then we have two tight ends coming to play. Dalton Kincaid with, a couple injuries, 571. Dustin Knox, 417. But people think Keon Coleman is a bust. I think he's actually kind of good. He's second on the team in targets. It's 404 yards, and he only played 13 of the 17 games.
Yeah, but okay, this is where I'm going to argue a point here.
This is good stuff.
Yeah, he should be leading the team. He's fourth on the team. The only reason why he missed those 13 games, or missed games, is because of healthy scratch, and
showing up late.
Yeah,
it's more of a like a Jamarcus Russell thing, not pulling into effort. There's another guy talking about off the air. I'm gonna turn on the on-air sign. Okay, that's good. We're official now.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, love to see him getting a bigger role because in college he was playing.
Wait, who are you talking about?
Talking about Keon right now. That's fine.
Okay, Coleman.
I want to get him into
the basketball player that should really be, better at 50-50 balls because he's athletic, and he's none of that. It looks like sometimes he's just has a lack of focus. The ball that went right through his hands, I mean, it wasn't a perfect ball thrown to him, but it goes through your hands.
You got to catch that.
Yeah, and I think he ended up with two catches on the day. Not good enough. Not good enough at all from Coleman. I wouldn't say he's a bust. I would say he's a miss. But at that same token, you could still call him a bust. So not the best receiving core in the league, not the best receiving core in the AFC. So probably the talent wise, probably have the weakest wide receiver room, but we've got other options in tight ends like Kincaid and Dawson Knox and
Jackson Hall is getting in there a little bit. Okay, talk about
James Cook.
Keon, we're gonna have a little argument here. We should have like a little argument button. You'd be like, but
Ding ding.
so
ding.
here's the question. Here's the essential question.
Right. Yeah,
Is
what's
Keon
that?
Coleman being played as up to his performance? Like, are the coaches putting him to work the way he should be used, or is he being used differently? And he could be. Is it really what the question is? Is Keon Coleman's performance a coaching problem, or is it just his problem?
No. It's all on him because he's had some of the highest snap counts of the team through the first 5 games. So he had a ton of snap counts, and even when he was struggling a lot,
He's 59 targets this year.
even when he was struggling through the first half of the season, he was still getting a really high percentage snap counts. So you can't blame it on lack of opportunity. I think it's just not capitalizing on those opportunities with Coleman. But there's a whole new season in front of us, the playoffs. I don't know if he's gonna play on Sunday. There are some. We have some injuries, but not really in the receiver injuries. We've got Ty Johnson, who's now questionable day to day with an ankle.
So that's the only. Is that the only offensive player? I mean, Ed Oliver. He's
He's out for Ed Oliver and Max Harrison are both out for this Sunday game. You know, if we can get by one or two more games without them, Max Harrison and Ed Oliver, and get them back for the AFC Championship, hopefully we'll be there. You know, got to get there first. But, getting healthy at the right time is going to be key to a Super Bowl run here.
Okay. Got your little fidget toy?
Yep. I always have to have something in my hand.
So, here's my take on that. I think Shakir, in college, I'm pretty sure he was, more of a deep pass catcher, one-on-one. But he hasn't really, he's getting, like, these short catches. I think he could be used, like, Brandon Cook, like that huge 50-yard catch against the Eagles. Why don't they do that with Keon? Because he's 6'4", so he's taller than some of the guys.
They have done that with Keon.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Well,
and you only get so many opportunities before, you don't come down with the ball. Yeah, I mean, you're right about, so Shakir, all the receivers, their average, if you look at Shakir's average catch, I think it's around 10 yards per catch. And then you look at the Jaguars receiving core, Parker Washington, Brian Thomas Jr., Bretton Strange. Those guys are I think 2 out of the 3 of those guys are averaging 15 yards per carry, per reception.
Okay.
So the what that tells us is Jacksonville offense is very explosive. They can stretch the field. They can bomb it down the field. And Trevor Lawrence, man, let me tell you, he's not the same quarterback he was with this new quarterback, this new head coach. Remind me of his name, Liam Cohen. Cohen,
yeah.
He's way more aggressive. It doesn't in the past seem like Trevor Lawrence was, being a little coddled a little bit, and he was really acting a lot of emotions out of fear. When he would have an interception, he would be take it really hard on himself, and I think he was afraid to make mistakes. Now, it appears this season, they are just that he is just playing very aggressive. Interceptions will come; he'll accept that, but he's not losing his cool, and he's playing a little more free, which isn't good news for Bills fans, but I think that's what Bills fans can expect come Sunday. Is you're going to see a different type of, if you haven't seen him play too much this season, different type of Trevor Lawrence, one that's less hesitant, more aggressive, throws deep down the field. But but I want to mention Bills got the number 1 passing defense, so we're not going to make it easy by any stretch, and I think we definitely have the edge over that. I've already talked about the Russian defense that the Jaguars have. They're up front. They're pretty comparable to the Bills line. You got Josh Allen Hines, Eric Armstead, Trayvon Walker. It's comparable to our core. Russo, Bosa, Milano. Milano was just playing really, really, really good football right now, and hopefully he can perform for us on Sunday. Stay healthy, and get a win. Get a win down in Jacksonville, Florida.
Okay. I'm just gonna. Now you talk about the Bills have the number 1 passing defense.
Yeah.
They only allow 277 completions all year. The Buffalo defense.
Yep.
And the Jaguars had 635 attempts, the most in the NFL. The Bills were actually second in attempts, 464. The Vikings at 447. Interceptions aren't really our strong suit. I mean, we do have Cole Bishop, but
the Jaguars. I was just going to say the Jaguars have 22 interceptions think 10 more than Buffalo, and just one less of Chicago, who leads the league. So they've got 22 turnovers. That's one of the reasons why Trevor Lawrence has got just one less touchdown than Josh Allen. He's got, I think, Josh Allen's got 39. Trevor Lawrence has 38. Big part of that reason is the defense turning the ball over, and giving him a short field, and he's got to go out there and execute. But I think that accounts for some of the comparables there with the numbers with Josh Allen, Trevor Lawrence. 22 interceptions is incredible, incredible to have. And,
Crazy.
And that's what it could come down to on Sunday is, it could come down to interceptions and getting an extra possession, and just the clutch moments, making a mistake in the clutch moments. I think it's going to be a game between that, essentially efficiency and mistake free down the stretch, and the turnover battle.
Yeah. Okay. Please go on the Jaguars here on defense. You're talking about that. They only allow 1,455 rush yards all year. That's the best in NFL. The Bills have fifth worst, and yeah, I think that's really gonna be the turning point of the game. But Trevor Lawrence has more interceptions than Josh Allen. He has 2 more. It's not like huge margin.
No.
But Cole Bishop's been playing good this year. Was he a rookie? 3 interceptions in his rookie year. That's pretty good.
Yeah.
That's something to definitely want to keep him for a pretty long time.
Mm-hmm.
It's like Grady. Let me check. No, it's actually not. I don't think it is his. No, he's 2 years. That's his experience.
Cole Bishop, second year.
He's not even a cornerback, he's a defensive back.
DB.
Yep. Okay, so we're gonna go in Jaguars offense here. Travis Etienne is 1,107 yards. No James Cook, but he's still a guy to look out.
Mm-hmm.
On passing, Parker Washington is 847. Brian Thomas Jr. is 707. Bretton Strange, their tight end, 540. Jacoby Myers, 483. Is that you're with the Jags or with the Raiders too?
That's total, and I would say too that Jacoby Myers is probably the best deal that went down on trade deadline day.
What about Quinn Williams? He had a ton of sacks.
Okay.
He's Sauce too.
All right, Sauce.
Well, talk about Sauce.
Sauce played like 2 games and got injured.
Question about Sauce. What sauce is he? Is he like a ranch?
and,
Hot? What is
and he got injured, and the Colts didn't even make the playoffs.
Yeah,
so that's a big. No wait, wrong button.
Okay, Jaguars.
Jaguars
D. They have their first in not rush yards allowed.
Yeah,
right. First
they
in rush yards
stopped the run.
Mm-hmm.
They're number 1 at stopping the run.
The third in allowing rushing first downs. So the Bills are number 1, I think, in rushing first downs.
Yeah, we talked about that earlier.
The best. So we got 2 of the best.
Yeah, we got like the best rushing offense versus the best rush defense. So we'll see what gives there. I mean, it's going to be interesting to see how much they play Cook.
I think you're gonna maybe Ray Davis might get some time with that game versus the Bear or the
Jets.
Yeah,
Yep.
but on sacks, Josh Hines Allen is 8. Arik Armstead. I don't know. Sorry if I'm saying it wrong.
Just Eric, I think.
Eric Armstead is 5.5, and Trayvon Walker is 3.5.
Mm-hmm.
Now let's take a look at the Bills. Not the Bills, the Jaguars' weaknesses. You want to take that?
Yeah. I mean, their weaknesses are their lack of playoff experience. Trevor Lawrence is only 1-1 in the playoffs.
Yeah.
That came in 2023, in a comeback. Their win is a comeback game, down like 27 points.
Yeah, the Chargers. It was a crazy game. I think it was just. Then they
Yeah.
played the Chiefs in
Yep.
the divisional, lost.
Exactly.
Then it was that was the year Bengals went to Super Bowl, I think. What did I that year?
23. So
23 was.
wasn't the Bengals. Anyways, I don't think that if the Bills are up 27 points in the first half, they would give that up. They're way too experienced with that. I think what the Jaguars are going to try to do, or are going to plan on doing, is score early, score fast, and score early.
Okay, it's gonna refresh your mind here. 2023 was Chiefs over Eagles, 38-35.
Chiefs Eagles.
Yeah, so that was that. Yeah. Also, secondary is their weakness. We said that on pass attempts.
Mm-hmm.
So, really, one big catch by either team could really flip the momentum of both teams, the fans, you know, how loud they'll be. And, you know, it's really gonna, this is gonna really swing the game. It's, our strengths versus their strengths, our weaknesses, their weaknesses, see how that plays out. I think this could be a really exciting game.
Yeah, two really evenly matched teams, too, right?
I don't think it would be a shootout. I think it would be like a mid-range because some teams, have such a good defense where it's like, the 49ers Seattle game was like 13-3.
Yeah, that was disappointing, but that wasn't playoffs.
Well, there was one seed on the line. That's what it was.
Yeah, right. I know, you're right. And it basically is like a playoff game in that
playoff,
sense. Yeah, that was underwhelming.
Mm-hmm.
I thought that it was going to be a little more entertaining and more offense. But, I don't know. Purdy just didn't have his right stuff that night.
It was Purdy, not good.
Okay. All right. So, it's going to be a good game Sunday, 1:00. Looking forward to it. Watching it at home in Buffalo, New York. I think it's supposed to be around 60, 70 degrees. It's in Florida. I think it might be kind of warm here, too, like in the 50s. But, speaking of the weather in Florida, it's going to be around 60 degrees. They haven't played a good weather game in like a month since, like, the Bills. The Bills. That Eagles game, cold rain. The game up in New England,
really,
kind of the same thing, cold and rain.
Not like as much rain.
Not as much, but not comfortable weather.
The Bengals game really.
Bengals game was sloppy too, wasn't it? It was snowing. It was snow game.
Yeah, Steelers was just cold. That game was cold, and the winds, because the Steelers stadium it's like a little cutout. So whenever the field goals, they have the lowest field goal made rate in the entire NFL.
Yeah, that brings. We didn't even talk about special teams.
Yeah, Matt Prater injured again.
And who does Jacksonville have?
The best kicker in the NFL.
Yeah, Little.
Cam
Little. And what did he do? He just hit a 67.
Yep, tied his
he's got a 68.
He has the first and second longest kick in NFL.
Yeah, so that's
So
that's a little scary. But I think they know it can't. We can't let this game come down to a field goal. We can't do that. Yeah. We no matter who's in there, even if it's Prater, it's not going to be a trustworthy foot to kick it through the field goal.
Yeah,
it's really not. Leg, quads.
Here's the thing about NFL. I don't like.
What's that?
How does one kicker can really decide the entire thing? All the Jaguars need is 4 first downs. They're in field goal range, which is really long, really good kicking foot. So that's what I think they should change. Saying maybe make the I think they should just make the post longer because kicks sometimes go
over it.
Yeah, so they don't know. Or they should add like a laser beam. Something. Yeah.
Yeah, like a light that like everybody could see, like a really big like.
Well, I don't think that would work.
And then shoot smoke around it, so it's like goes on forever.
I don't think
And then if the football goes over the light, it like just tears it in half. It just like cuts it off.
no, well,
Trims it into shreds.
Here's the problem with that. How would they be able to accurately like represent how if it would hit the goalpost, how would it like bounce off and all that stuff? They should just make it longer, like they did. They made it longer than they wrote down. Hey, do you want to know something about Brandon Aubrey? You know, was the second best kicker in NFL.
Okay.
So you know he's so accurate because his field goal posts for the Dallas practice field is like super it's like not even wide whatsoever. It's like I don't know, maybe
Real
5
narrow.
feet. It's like 5 feet.
He practices on a narrow upright.
Yeah, so that's how he's so accurate.
That
He
makes
always
sense.
hits them. It's pretty good.
So
yeah.
then when it comes to real time, it's like, oh man, this is so easy. I'm used to kicking through a 5-foot upright.
Yeah,
This thing's
like
20
dude
feet.
perfect thing.
Yeah, that's a good idea. Never thought of that.
Maybe Prater would do that. He'd be
Wonder
like, how your field goals
if he's the
today?
only one.
Be like a rookie kicker doing field goals. He'd be like, how your field goals? Yeah, I'm over 20.
Mhm.
Okay. Do you want to go in the AFC playoffs? Just the playoffs in general.
Well, let's stick to the AFC side.
Maybe we'll go
I don't think
we'll just like do a little.
we have time for the NFC, but I'll start off. I'll start off. I'll talk about the matchup between the Chargers and the Patriots. It's all about Herbert. You know, he's been like a surgeon out there, fitting balls in tight windows and playing against man coverage and having a really, really good year. Not surprising, you know, he's always been full of potential. Just you know, a lot of times they come short of making the playoffs, but that's not the case this season.
If the Chargers knock out the Patriots, that'd be pretty cool. Because it'd be most likely it could be Bills Chargers if we defeat the Jaguars, and that game definitely want to play the Chargers more than the Patriots.
Mm-hmm.
You know, just like the Steelers Texans. You know, don't want to play the Ravens. But I feel like the playoff picture would probably be in like the divisional round, probably be Broncos, Texans, Bills, Chargers.
When is that Chargers New England game?
It's January 11th at 8 p.m. So let me think. Actually,
That's Saturday at 8.
might be. I don't like
Or is
Saturday.
it Monday?
No, it's Sunday. Sunday at 8, so it's Sunday Night Football.
Sunday Night
The
Football.
Bills play at 1 o'clock Sunday, so that's nice. It's a 1 o'clock game, CBS. So
And then the
Houston actually 3-point favorites.
So when's the Houston game?
That is Monday Night Football.
Oh, so there is no one on Saturday.
No, I like it.
So just 2 on Saturday. 2 on Sunday, and 1 on Monday.
Yeah, the AFC Championship is actually or the divisional rounds are on Saturday. And then the championship is on a Sunday. So the 2 Saturday games are the divisional round, but that's later. If we can get to them. But we get about, I think, we gotta take advantage of this playoff. I mean,
Yeah, we
it's
do.
the easiest playoffs we've seen.
No
in a while.
Lamar.
No Lamar. No Joe Burrow. No Mahomes.
Mm-hmm.
Just new kids in town. New kids on block.
Well, you know, Josh Allen is one of those consistents.
I think we should just go up the line.
Other teams got to be thinking, but there's still a Josh Allen.
You know, if they have each year they have a better team.
Still Jalen Hurts.
Still
Brock Purdy. Brock Purdy's been to the Super Bowl.
Still Justin Herbert. He's won it. But take that back. I mean, the Bears have Caleb Williams. Packers, Jordan Love. Matt Stafford with the Rams, and Bryce Young. He's trying to prove that he's really next generation.
Yeah. So Stafford's another.
Since they have Cam Newton, the first time, not like when he came back. They've needed a star quarterback, flashy quarterback.
Who's that?
Cam Newton.
No, who needs a star quarterback?
I'm talking about the Panthers. They haven't had one since Cam Newton.
Oh, right, yeah.
Not like the time he came back.
Right.
Yeah,
I
the
gotcha.
Patriots. Wasn't he with the Patriots? Like the
Yeah, he had the Bills beat them.
yeah, the meme. There's a meme about him. Okay. So I think the Justin Herbert versus
I had to
Patriots.
sneeze, but it went away.
Okay. So I think Keenan Allen, McConkey,
Oh, yeah.
as the receivers, they need to find separation, take advantage of that zone or whatever Patriots play. I'm not.
Keenan Allen never ages.
Yeah,
He's
super
always
old.
athletic looking too, and makes big plays at key moments. Man, I wish he was on the Colts for when Philip Rivers came back. That would have been different.
So I just want to talk about the Patriots. So the two players on defense that have the most sacks and tackles are listed as questionable. So that could be a really big key moment or key takeaway.
Yep.
And
advantage there for the Chargers.
Yeah,
definitely.
I'm taking a look at the stats. The Chargers have, according to ESPN, 46.5 to 53.5
probability.
Yep.
So the New England's definitely
probably
like a 1.5 or a 3-point favorite. I don't know.
Look at the Bills. The Bills are 48.2, Jaguars 51, so it's close. Basically 52 to 4.
On this stat line, on this poll thing though, that's like Facebook, Twitter.
No, well, it's according to ESPN Analytics actually.
Oh, all
They're
right.
playing like the worst stadium in the NFL.
Well, the Bills are 1.5-point favorites.
Yeah, so I'd like to see how, I'm just taking a look at the. Yeah, it's just gonna be okay. I'm gonna stop, get off track here because we're going to Bills, Chargers, Steelers. So let's just focus on all of the wild card games this week.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. So then, so we got New England Chargers. We talked about them a little bit. Drake May, possible MVP. The question is Justin Herbert good enough to be a good defense without his offense needing to be absolutely perfect,
Well, he needed to be perfect. Yeah, so
I think that's what it's gonna take for Justin Herbert for the Chargers to they got not a perfect game, but they have to limit the mistakes, and try to play with the lead for that team to win. I think that'll be key to them. Like you said, to them winning, and like you said, that's gonna. Bills fans are rooting for that, not just because we hate New England here, but because they're a 7th seed.
Yeah, I'm gonna take a look at the Keenan Allen. If you're wondering, he has 777 yards, 4 touchdowns, and they have a pretty good. They have Keenan Allen. You have Lamb McConkey, and you also have Quentin Johnson, who's slowly turning into a little bit of a star there. He's actually the first round pick, and he has this year 735, so a little bit less than Keenan Allen, but I want to watch that game and see how that plays out. But New England's 3.5-point favorites. So do you want to hop on over to Steelers Texans or?
Steelers Texans, yeah. C.J. Stroud's having another great year.
Yeah.
I think he only had like a sophomore slump, and that was it.
Maybe we'll have another.
He's got. He's always had really good receivers, and this year's no different. Dalton Schultz, Nico Collins, Jaden Higgins, Xavier Hutchinson. He's got plenty of targets and weaponry up and down. No problem there. They're first in yards allowed, second in points allowed. Their defense is if you watch the Bills. If you watch what they did to the Bills, and then the very next week, what they did to the Chiefs, it was rush the passer, blitz. Their defense is a wrecking ball and disruptor, and they can really set the tone. That defense can really set the tone and demoralize an offense.
They're on a 9-game winning streak.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I think Jaguars are like on a 7 game. I think
started the season with 3 losses, then they started 2-3, and they were 2-4, 3-4, then ended up being 3-5 for winning 9 straight games to get to 11-5, 12-5. But yeah, they are They're a good team. Their defense is nothing but elite. You got Will Anderson, Derek Stingley, that great cornerback. So, yeah, they have one player with 15 sacks, which is insane. And Woody Marks is their running back.
Who's got 15 sacks?
The Texans. Check. It is Danielle Hunter.
Daniel Hunter, 15 sacks. Wow.
That's cool. He was a third-round pick. So pretty good third-round pick.
Yeah.
Yeah. So.
Yeah, 15 sacks, third-round pick. Wow.
Steelers have DK. He's back from his suspension.
Yep.
From
He'll be back.
Fan in a wig.
Yeah. He's back, and he's really, really good. And they struggled a lot without him. They found a way to win somehow to beat the Ravens, who just fired the coach, by the way.
Yeah, breaking news.
Just within the last hour. TJ Watt.
Within the hour, have a little bell.
We got something, but
no.
Anyways, TJ Watt recovering from a partially collapsed lung. He did play week 18.
Wow. Partially collapsed? I didn't know it was like that. So it was
very serious.
Like the Chargers will happen to
Tyrod Taylor.
Yeah. So
They punctured his lung with a needle by accident.
Yeah.
The Houston's going to wreck Pittsburgh, but I mean, you never know. They can scheme something up. They don't want to. Pittsburgh doesn't want to be embarrassed, but man, I think Houston's just going to flat out destroy Aaron Rodgers. Aaron Rodgers knows better. He's not going to take a big sack. Unless he doesn't see it coming from behind. But he's going to get rid of the ball really quick.
That's what he does.
Aaron Rodgers. Really, that is what he does, and I think you'll see a lot of that.
It's going to be pretty annoying for a defensive end. You're about to get a sack, and then you just throw the ball away. It's got to be really frustrating.
Mm-hmm.
So, yeah.
Which quarterback do you trust more under pressure, Stroud or Rodgers?
That's a good one.
No wrong answer here, just...
Yeah, Stroud under pressure, he's like most quarterbacks. He could just run. It's not like Lamar. He doesn't have the fastest feet, but I really think Rodgers has the experience and the veteran. He's not like super slow, but it's not like a Peyton Manning thing. So I think Aaron Rodgers might be able to.
Yeah.
And I think the offensive line for Steelers, I'm not sure how that is, but I'll get some stats on that.
Yeah, I mean, well, he doesn't take a lot of sacks, Aaron Rodgers.
Yeah, they have, I'm going to take a look.
But they don't score a lot either.
The Steelers,
Pittsburgh.
No. Well, they have their defense. Yeah, so they're the 9th, apparently. They're 8th or 9th best offensive line, so they've had a lot of injuries.
Yeah, not terrible.
So, I want to see that, because the Bills don't have a great offensive line.
Okay, which defense is more capable of outright winning a game? Houston or the Patriots?
You mean Steelers?
No, I'm switching to Patriots.
Houston, easily.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I'll take a look at the Patriots defense, but they have. I'm trying to think who they even have. It's kind of blinking. So yeah, Harold Landry has 8.5 sacks. He's questionable, but I really think Patriots have a couple injuries.
All right.
Yeah. So I'm gonna see. That's gonna be fun.
It's gonna be a fun playoff weekend. First weekend of the pod.
Mm-hmm.
Argue Your Point podcast.
Yeah.
We're excited to have this launched in 2026. We've got a lot more ideas ahead, and hopefully next week we'll be talking about a Bills win. The Sabres play tonight. We're not going to get into that because I think we're going to wrap this up. But the Sabres play tonight against Vancouver. Buffalo Sabres at home against Vancouver. It's the first game after ending their 10-game win streak, so hopefully they'll
bounce back, and they need to win a couple games, like we said. I don't know if it was last episode or whatever it was. They have a couple scenarios. They need to You need some teams to win. If they go on like this 4-5 game winning streak, have a couple losses, they could probably maybe even be looking at Atlantic, most likely wild card spot.
Yeah.
So I'm excited to see how that plays out. And yeah, that's all we got for you folks.
Yeah, yeah, me too. I'm excited to see that play out too. Technically they're not in a playoff position right now. I just really hope they win today because they go on a 10-game win streak. Eventually going to lose a game like they did against Columbus, but I really want to see a bounce back win. To prove to themselves that that wasn't just a fluky thing that happened, and they still have the drive to win. So
I think they're going to be, if they have, here's three things they need to win. The three, yes, really, all you need is confidence against these teams. You need, you need to be focused, not on, getting the fantasy points or whatever. They just need focused, and they really just need to play, like our GM said, we just need to play
like
better.
Desperate.
Need to play better. There's teams, if there's players that are worse than us and they're outplaying us, teams worse than us, and we need to, play hard, play good. That's how they can get the win.
Yeah, I agree with you. All right, awesome. Why don't you roll the outro, Mason, and we'll talk to you guys next time.
Okay, see you guys later.